Hey guys, welcome to the Vault. We are back with some more exclusive content. Today we got Matt from corporate in the house to do an Under the Cap. We haven't done this in a while, so we hope you guys enjoy.
There's no better way to revisit going under the cap than with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy. We're gonna call him the Big Red Machine for the day because this is what this guy pumps out. This guy pumps out just badass shit left and right. And I want the audience to get to know a little bit more about you, Matt, because we had a chance to speak to you a little bit before the show here, and I got to be honest with you, man. I love what you're bringing to the table. So let's talk a little bit about your early days, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of history here, and what eventually led to corporate.
Oh man, rightfully so. I just love what I do. Right, I love footwear. I love hats. I love being creative. I love paying homage to those that giving me opportunities. I feel like just connecting people through good product is that's a great statement for yourself, and just to have something that you can hang your hat on, right?
Yeah.
So that's just me, man. I love what I do, and I feel very fortunate enough to be able to create whenever I want. And that's
where did it start though, man? Because I think all of us had these big moments early on in life where all right, we're figuring out what we want to do with ourselves, right? Where did those begin early on? Like what were those moments?
Yeah, for me it was here in Cincinnati. We had some Urban Doors, exclusive being the number one. Their hat wall was insane, man. I mean, it looked like behind you, and that was what was on the shelf every single day.
It looked like my hat room.
Oh man, yeah. And I mean, every week they would restock. So I was faithfully in there, man. Shout out to Congo and Chino. Those guys really, they always love me, man. So I always try to shout them out when I can because they still do it. But, they're not really out there on the internet just yet.
Yeah.
But they're working on it. And Capanova, that's coming. So, like, they're really good dudes.
Yeah.
But, man, those guys from a local standpoint, and then, man, when I started to like stretch my legs and like visit new cities like Philadelphia, I would walk through those stores in the gallery. And I mean, I love hats. So it was like I was trying to find, the Kentucky Colonel's hat in navy, white, and red or whatever to match, whatever sneaker I had. And it just kind of grew into my thing, man. Whenever we would sell a shoe at Foot Action, I would be like, yo, let me walk down the hall, see what they have to match this. So, I can kind of tell my guys.
Yeah.
Like,
so pause there for a second. You started by working at Foot Action.
Yeah. I, as a sophomore in high school, I actually got a job through a sports marketing class that we took in high school at Foot Action.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the glory days when it's like gold in the house when you walk in, it's real fun days, right?
Yeah.
So, man, we would be in there just selling the shoes and trying to, create the whole look of like, all right, I got this hat, I want to rock it with these or whatever. And that was just kind of the beginning. And then as you know, like I was so good at that I actually got a job down at Lids. And
so let me get this straight. You were working at Foot Action, right?
Yeah.
So you know what's coming, so you're like, all right, I got to go figure out what sorts of hats I'm going to get to match these sneakers.
Yep.
Right.
So you're working at Foot Action, you're walking over to Lids to find the sneaker hooks, right?
Yep.
And then they're like, all right, no, we want to hire you too.
Yeah.
So now you're melding two of our favorite worlds, right? Sneakers and hats.
I mean, it was so perfect because at that time, embroidery was, becoming a thing. You put your little initial and Brody on the side or whatever, your favorite font was.
Yeah.
And the guy there, he was just like, big brother to me, Q Suggs. And he would just be like, sky's the limit. So, when they were doing the big C, we would put like 513 and then all that, and just having fun, just being creative. And when it was finally time for me to do my thing at corporate, that was the first thing I wanted to do was search out New Era and be able to do shop fitteds and shop hats. I come from the background of like leaders and concepts when they were doing crazy hats, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy that I have the connection to leaders through Vic, Ty, Corey, Joe, Fresh Goods, all those guys were like the guys that were doing the hats, right? But those are like my big bros, and they always just told me like, man, whatever you want to do, whenever. And
Yeah.
that it's just a relationship that we have, and we love to work together and just do fun stuff, man. So
Well, let's take it back a second, if that's okay, because I
Yeah.
think one of the most interesting parts of your story is when you were working out in Minnesota, right? So tell us about that, and then listen. I think there was a huge risk you took too. So let's talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
that part of it, because I mean, listen, I don't want you to sell yourself short. What you
man,
told me before is
appreciate it.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I think I was 20 years old. I had dropped out of college to pursue kind of, the understanding of small business. So
Mm-hmm.
I got an opportunity out in Minnesota at this store called Status. We were on Hennepin Avenue, and we were just like, going with it, like BBC New Era hats and just crazy stuff like that was our thing. And unfortunately, with the recession hitting, we were forced to close down. And I was like, yo, let's just try to, let me try to do this on my own. And actually, I opened corporate in 2008. And
Yeah.
man, so this year we'll be 13 years old. And, it's been a ride, man. It's been up and down and, broke and beaten. But man, it's still what I love to do every single day, man.
Listen,
Definitely.
man, this is a great story. So let me ask you a question really quick. Like, if you were to give any young entrepreneur out there some advice, because listen, you made it, man. You
Yeah,
went from working at Foot Action to working at Foot Action Lids
yeah.
to working for a business that went under, and then you said, "All right, I'm betting on myself."
Yep.
So, what advice would you give these young folks that are looking to start a business?
I would just say always just like, no matter what, believe in yourself. Like that's what got me through. And just, I kind of just felt like that was my mantra. Like, man, you can't give up. Like
Mm,
that's just not in you. And, being from Cincinnati and opening a shop in Cincinnati, that kind of gave me even more of a motivation. Like, cause man, when you see the high school guys, they're
Yeah.
like, hey man, did you fail? You be
Yeah.
like, hey, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Or
yeah,
like, oh, y'all still got that little store? I'm like, yeah, little store. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
how I know that feeling. Because anytime you stay where you're from
yep.
and do something like that, a lot of people, they come in and they kind of talk to you that way a little bit, and you're like, do you,
Yeah.
I don't think you even realize the scale of what's happening right now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I do have a question though. So how do you feel like being in business 13 years? Obviously, fashion changes so much, and just like huge difference in shoes, and hats. You know what I mean? How did you kind of cope with the ups and downs of that kind of situation? Like going in and out of sneakers being super popular and then hats
Yeah.
being super popular.
You just have to stay true to your wave, right? Like, I mean, we see it now with dunks, right? We see it
Yeah.
now with fitteds per
Yeah.
se. There were times when everybody wanted a dad cap, everybody wanted a 5 panel. But it's like, come on, man. Like at the end of the day, you're growing older and more
Right.
mature, right? That should be your thing.
Hmm.
So for me, it was always like, man, this is always what we do. Like
Right.
fitteds. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a kid. I don't need my hair sticking out of the front right here, looking like I'm
Yeah.
sleeping,
Yeah. Facts.
I
Sandlot guy.
can't do that anyway, Matt.
Oh, bro, so my hair is so straight
Yeah.
that literally it just goes poink, and I have another bill, and I'm like, come on, man, I can't do that.
No, I understand that wholeheartedly though, because I
Yeah,
mean it is crazy, going up and down. That's the same thing kind of me. I've always been like a staple person.
yep,
So I stick to staples, and I never really wore anything too crazy because of that. And fitteds are something that same thing with Air Force Ones. People say Air Force Ones are out of style for so long, but it's like, bro, I mean, that's like saying a Timberland's out of style. Like I
yeah.
get you, but
Yeah, and I mean with fitteds, like you said, like okay, so maybe we didn't rock all the colors that we're wearing today, but
yeah,
man, I'm always gonna stay true to a red Cincinnati hat. That's
yeah,
just,
Yeah.
and I think for me, being from Cincinnati and working in this industry, like I've always made it my point to wear a Cincinnati hat or wear a corporate hat. Like
yeah,
I'm one of those guys, like you're gonna know, oh yeah, that's Matt. He always wear that hat.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I do, and that's the pride that I have and where I'm from, because I mean, let's keep it 1,000. Like Cincinnati, you hear violence, you hear, oh man, didn't y'all have this and that going on? It's like, yeah, but at the same time, man, our teams suck, but I'm still gonna rep y'all. Like, I mean, yeah, like I would never wear a Bengals hat, but I wear a black and orange Cincinnati Reds hat.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, I have one of them. The one
yeah,
that
you
guys.
you got that one?
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
That was from Ty. So
Yeah, that was
me
the
and
Ty
Ty went
Mathis
back
collab.
and forth on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I hope the Bengals play decent this year, and
yeah,
they suck it up, man. I mean,
they did, but the hat didn't. The hat's
yeah,
awesome.
the hat was good, man, but it's just like, yo, in Cincinnati, if they're down and out, like fans are kicking them and giving them that last shot to the chest before they go down. But
my favorite Cincinnati athlete of all time was Eric Davis.
So that is a guy that we've been working in our mix right now.
Oh yeah.
Paying homage to him because
it
was him, Griffey, Dion, and Barry Larkin are the four.
Barry Larkin, Barry Larkin at shortstop. Can't forget him.
Oh man, so a couple years back for All-Star Weekend, we used him with our Mitchell and Ness pop-up shop.
Yeah.
And then the next night we came back and killed him with the New Era pop-up shop for our nonprofit. And Barry Larkin came both nights.
Yeah.
And he was just like, how did you do that? And I was like, let's not talk about this out loud. Like, but they had remade a 1990 hat and just 1-to-1, and he signed it, and I have it in this very beautiful case. And I'm just like, that's my grail right there.
Oh man, Barry Larkin was fantastic, man. I don't know, there's something about Eric Davis I just loved. I used to have his 1985 Topps rookie card, so I'm a little older than you, I think. Might be, but listen. So this story is fantastic. So I'd love to hear where you're going next. So you've got this business that's about to hit 13 years old, right? That's crazy.
Yeah,
where's it going next, man? Where do you see it going next?
Well, for us, let's see, March 13th, we're looking to open our second door over in Indianapolis.
Ooh.
We're right in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, and man, for me, it's always been a dream to be in an NBA market. When we were in Minnesota with Status, I mean, the first athlete I ever worked with was Kevin Garnett.
Oh,
and that was like,
I love him.
Yeah, that's my guy. Like, and still to this day, he's like, "Lil Matt, what's up?" And it's just like, it's so funny. But I always wanted to be in the NBA market, and that's like, I guess a wish list and a dream, whatever you want to put it on. But man, we're gonna be there, and hopefully we start rolling with some different things we're gonna do over there. They don't have baseball, so we were gonna do minor league because they have some super crazy designs on the minor league side. So we were gonna try to play with those colors.
Dude, man, you know what I love about this guy, Leon? I think you'll agree is he's a real hat guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I think the hat world now, it's great that you have a lot of new blood in there, but it's always great to sit back and talk with a real hat guy.
I mean, dude, you gotta think this is my go-to, man. I had looking back on it, I had a pretty bad barber growing up. So it was always let me put on my hat as soon as I could, anywhere I could. As soon as I got off from my shift, I would just try to put my hat back on. So I felt like I was back in my element, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I think this was great. I don't want to speak on behalf of Andre and Leon, but I got to tell you, man, your humility and the way you kind of go about things, and anyone I've spoken to about you has said, great guy.
Damn.
Yeah. Great guy.
I appreciate that.
And I love what you guys are doing out there. You've literally tripled my Cincinnati Reds hat collection on your own. It's crazy, but I mean, Jesus, I fell in love with that C now, man. All these different hats you guys are putting out there, incredible.
Bro, thank you guys. It's been fun. The coolest part about it now, when we get emails about hey, can you ship this overseas? I'm like, Tokyo wants our hat. It just blows my mind sometimes because it's but again, it's one of the things you're you don't realize the reach that you have until Instagram gets a hold of it, and you're Jesus, I mean, cause like even that Griffey colorway hat that we did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do enough, but I didn't want it to be like one of them things that stayed on the shelf. I needed it
Right.
gone, right?
Yeah.
But I did restock that one. I got half of our shipment, so we got another half of it coming. But it's just like, man, you just love to see the excitement over people, like the connection, like because real people are after
For
product
sure.
right now, not
Yeah.
just the guys trying to flip your shit and you
Yeah.
be like, damn, man, like I mean, because we see that. I mean, on some of our hats, we've seen guys buy 7 1/8 to 7 7/8, and I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, man, like you really think this hat's gonna be worth like what? Like I don't want to see my stuff on there for $100 and somebody didn't get a chance to even get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's just
Listen, man, if you've ever followed us, we have a disdain for that sort of activity. So
I think we all do,
yeah,
man. Like,
yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
Yeah.
like, dude, like, okay, man, it's out of control, man. Like, yeah, the sneakers, I see you can buy them. Damn, you gonna buy the toothbrush? Like, you're gonna buy anything you can make money on.
Yep.
Bro, anything.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think we all are, but you know what? At the end of the day, man, you're making great shit. So,
Thanks.
I mean, I think it's a testament to the stuff you guys are doing over there. I want to thank you for this because this was fantastic. I think you're gonna have a lot more people knocking on your door because I think the more the world gets to know you, the more they're going to want to support you, man. Because I can't help but think everyone's gonna want to support you after getting to know you a little bit better.
Dang, well, and that the other thing, like, man, just know that y'all can reach out to me because I don't be doing shit. I'm not a celebrity and no right.
Gotta
Like,
get it. Yeah, I heard that.
unless I'm with my daughter or I'm at my house, like, bro, this is what I do. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm
Yep.
not, I just try to meet good people, connect good people, and just do right. Like, yo, it's easy and be creative because
Yep.
this is so fun to me. Like, man, I'm telling you guys, like, if we ever are in the same city, we got to do a session on some hats.
Oh yeah, man, no
You
doubt,
guys,
man.
like, especially with you guys, like I was talking to my rep already. I was like, bro, what if we did like a collection with them? He was like, you think they would want to do it? I said, why not?
Of
Like,
course we
these
would,
guys
man.
are
We're
fans
down for
too.
anything,
Like,
I
man.
mean, we're world travelers, bro.
like,
We
dog, but
in the
that's like,
car and
think
make
about
it
that.
happen.
That'd be like you guys going to the bespoke lab, for me, like
Yeah.
you're gonna see so many colors, your head's gonna pop, and you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, all right,
Man,
this isn't as easy as it looks.
we're always down, man. But we're our main goal and our main vision here is to support and to kind of give a spotlight to folks like you, because
Yeah,
people like you are. This is why we love doing what we do, man. It's the people.
man.
We love
Yeah.
hats, but we love the people behind the hats. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that the people behind the hats are so cool because like they go crazy when they see good product, right?
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, like so Diego from Leaders, he does all their hats now. I had to buy some of their hats the other day. And who else? Ducky, y'all know my guy Ducky.
Mhm.
Like, look. So this was one of the first hats that I bought from Ducky.
Oh,
It was the
man.
3M.
It's
It's an all 3M hat, and it has the Kente print on it. Bro, this hat is insane to me. But it was just like Ducky was that guy for me, like before I knew him.
Yeah.
And then when I met him, I was like standing out about like, dude, you did those hats and you did this with that, this damier print. He's like,
Crazy,
yeah,
man.
we got a deceased letter on that one. I was like, well, I got that hat.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
got yours. Facts.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good way to drop the mic, man. So, Matt, thanks again, man. We appreciate having you on. This was fantastic. We're gonna have you on again too. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Let's have fun, man.
That's right, man.
That's part of our lives right now.
That's
have
it,
fun.
man. That's it. Leon, big fella.
Yep.
Take us away.
All right. Make sure you guys like, rate, review, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys check out corporategotham.com for your latest releases, hat or shoe wise. Until next time, we'll catch you soon. Stay fitted. We out.
Later.